Wife of RCCG pastor crushed to death by container along with 2 kids speaks about husband and son's death. Photo. Wife of a Redeemed Christian Church of God pastor who died in an accident has opened up about her loss. She however questioned the Christian stereotype that when a man dies, he has ended his race on earth. She said the death of her 2 sons cannot be justified. Mrs. Vivian Urchula, wife a Redeemed Christian Church of God pastor who recently lost her husband and 2 sons after a container fell on their vehicle while coming back from the monthly Holy Ghost service of the church, has lamented her loss. In an interview with Punch, the bereaved Vivian, who lost her husband and 2 children in the disaster, questioned the Christian stereotype that when a man dies, he has ended his race on earth. The family photo of late Redeemed pastor, from left to right, the late Chibuke, Victoria, late Charles, Emmanuel, Vivian and late Peculiar. Photo credit, Punch. She noted that even if that could be said of her husband, the death of her 2 sons is unfathomable. The 49-year-old, while narrating her recollections of the sad event, said when asked how she got to know of the accident that claimed the lives of her loved ones. "My pastor called me on Saturday, July 8, around 7 a.m. He said, 'Where are you, Sister Vivian?' I told him I was at home. He then asked me who among my children accompanied my husband to the redemption camp. I told him 2 of my children, Peculiar, 12, and Chibuike, 14. I asked him if all was well. After the call, I was disturbed because anytime my husband went to the camp, he usually came back home around 5 or 6 a.m. I had been calling his number but it was not going through. I called my daughter that I was not comfortable with the questions our pastor asked me on the telephone. I asked her to call our church member in Ajota to know if my husband and 2 children were in Ajota. The fellow told us there was an accident at Ajota. We then asked who was involved. He said my husband, my 2 sons with some other church members, 1 old woman and our neighbor's child, Daniel." On hearing this, my daughter started crying. I tried to console her. We had just woken up from sleep. A family friend went to a Ajota bus stop and saw the wreckage. We were told that a truck conveying a container fell on their bus. The fellow was there when they brought the crane to lift the container off the damaged bus my husband, our 2 children and others were traveling in. Going further, the mother of 4 recalls her last conversation with her late husband. "I called my husband around 11 or 12 p.m. on Friday. He was at the camp. I told him that because of the Badu killings in Ikoratu, he should not come home very early as he usually did. I asked him to stay around till 5 or 6 a.m. before leaving the camp. He asked me if there was any riot in any place. He said I should forget about the cult matter and not entertain any fear. He assured me that since he was coming from a Church of God, there was nothing to worry about. I was told he left the camp around 3 a.m., that was the last discussion I had with him." Speaking on the numbers of children she had, she said, 4. 2 died while 2 are still alive. The surviving ones are Victoria and Emmanuel, who is in the university. When asked if the Redeemed Church had reached out to her, she responded in the affirmative. However, noting that the death of her 2 sons cannot be justified. "They came in large numbers, telling me not to be weary. They said he had finished his race. I asked them, what about my 2 young children who died? Have they finished their race too just like that?" Nage.com had reported that 5 people were killed after a fully loaded container fell on a commercial bus in Ajota area of Lagos. 3 people have been rescued from the wreckage by Lagos State Emergency Management Agency officials, which occurred on early Saturday, July 8. The occupants of the bus were returning from the monthly vigil at the Redeemed Christian Church of God headquarters on Lagos Ibadan Expressway.